of today's contests are our guests and should be treated as such. Also, please refrain from going onto the court after the game is over so that the next teams can begin their warm-ups. TAPS would like to express its appreciation to Wilson Sporting Goods, the official ball for TAPS, for providing the game balls to this contest. And if you have friends or family who cannot be at this contest tonight but would still like to catch the action, have them go to the TAPS website at taps.biz. Click on the links for either TAPS Radio or TAPS TV to listen to the game live on TAPS Radio or watch it on TAPS TV. And you can also purchase tonight's game to watch on TAPS TV on demand later this evening. That's TAPS TV and TAPS Radio, the broadcast partners of the broadcast home of the Texas Association of Private and Parochial Schools. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the competitors in tonight's contest. First, our designated visiting team comes to this contest with an overall record of 20 wins against 11 defeats. They are led by head coach Kalia Mansell and assistant coaches Gil Gonzalez and Dustin Lindsay. From Victoria, Texas, please welcome the Faith Academy Cougars. The starting lineup for the Cougars is as follows. Senior guard number 1, Faith Kuchera. Junior post number 2, Jalen Dorset. Senior guard number 10, Jane Thomas. Junior point guard number 13, Hannah Lazar. And junior guard number 24, Cora Gonzalez. For 2019-2020 Faith Academy Cougars. And now today's designated home team comes into this game with an overall record of 29 wins against the defense, led by head coach Sheriff Wilson and assistant Jason Wall, taking on the senior Vasquez from Austin, Texas. Please welcome the Waldorf School Roadrunners. The starting five of the Roadrunners is as follows. Junior guard number 14, Clara Pickens. Senior forward number 22, Casey Palmer. Senior guard number 23, Miranda Settle. Senior guard number 24, Risa Olsen. And senior guard number 33, Ruby Tunney. Your 2019-2020 Waldorf Roadrunners. Ladies and gentlemen, this time we would ask you to please rise for our invocation, which will be followed by the national anthem. Here to lead the invocation today is the Roadrunners head coach and the school's athletic director, Mr. Eric Olson.
Please bow your head. Dear God, thank you for this beautiful day and this beautiful world we have. Thank you for giving us the gift of this game to play when so many people don't get to play these kinds of games. Thank you for the food we get to eat because there are so many that are hungry. Thank you for the water that we drink because so many are thirsty. Thank you for the clothes on our back and the roofs over our heads because so many are homeless. Thank you for all the love from our family and friends that have helped bring these girls to this special day. Help us to reach out to all those around the world who need our love and support. In your name we pray. Amen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here to sing the national anthem is one of the choir directors from the Waldorf School, Miss Harry Everett.
Please join me if you wish in singing our national anthem. Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly
The 2A state semifinals between the number 7 Faith Academy Victoria Cougars and the number 1 Austin Waldorf School Roadrunners on TAPS TV. Mike Leslie joined by Matt Tarbutton once again. Game number 5 of the day. We're almost done, Matt. Should be a fun one today, though, between these two in 2A. Two of the best teams in the state, no doubt, playing for a right to play in the state championship game.
Yeah, it should be a great one. We've got two programs that have been here before, that have been, just great girls basketball programs here in TAPS. Faith Academy of Victoria and Waldorf School of Austin really coming together to have some good basketball. Obviously, this is game 5 of 6. Had some good to start with. Let's see how this one goes.
Faith Kuchera and Risa Olson at the center circle for the tip, and it'll be Austin Waldorf, the number 1 team in the state in 2A, in the white jerseys, moving right to left to have the first possession of the basketball game. Nice look inside for Ruby Turner, but she can't finish. Rebound pulled down by Austin Waldorf. Their starters, Clara Pickens, Daisy Palmer, Miranda Seckel, Risa Olson, and Ruby Turner. Kick out for Turner. Beg your pardon, Ruby Tunney. And the turnover, and Faith Academy takes it for the first time today. Faith Kuchera, their best player, out there with Jalen Dorsett, Jade Thomas, Hannah Bazar, and Cora Gonzalez, their starting 5. In the blue jerseys, moving right to left. The steal, though, as Gonzalez throws it away. Olson in transition. Right wing, three-pointer on the way. Misses well long off the hands of Clara Pickens. Olson and Seckel for Austin Waldorf, 23 and 24, the two best players for the Roadrunners. Meanwhile, for Faith Academy Victoria, Faith Kuchera, their best player. Hannah Bazar, their second leading scorer. Just a junior. Up ahead, Jalen Dorsett. A little short-handed on the layup, and it stays scoreless a little more than a minute in. Olson, kick out. Seckel for 3.
It was a great shot right there from the Lady Roadrunners. Really doing a good job getting up and down the floor so far.
Kuchera trying to answer, can't hit on the layup. It'll stay. No, it'll go down. Last touched by Faith Academy.
Faith Academy is really going to have to take care of this ball. The Roadrunners like to play an up-tempo style, and that's offensive and defensively.
Knocked out of bounds right at us, but it'll stay going down in the hands of Austin Waldorf. Waldorf in the state semifinals on the strength of a 52-30 win over St. Paul Shriner. Knocked off Bracken Christian, they did, in the area round. A little pocket pass and a kick. Meanwhile, Faith Academy Victoria, a 48-18 win over St. Joseph Catholic School out of Bryan in the regional final. In the first round, they knocked off Covenant Christian out of Conroe, 42-36. Ball knocked out of bounds, last touched by Waldorf. It goes back to the Cougars.
Waldorf, just like some teams we've seen earlier, employing a 2-2-1 press.
Head coach for Faith Academy, Kalia Mansell, in her first full season as the turnover. Olson with the steal. Olson going one on the defense and draws the foul on her way up. She'll head to the free throw line for 2. Kalia Mansell, in her first full season as the head coach at Faith Academy Victoria, took over midway through last season. Meanwhile, the head coach for Austin Waldorf is Eric Olson. Austin Waldorf 29-3 on the year. Faith Academy Victoria 20-11 on the season. Second free throw misses, but they get the offensive board, and the putback will go.
Faith Academy's really going to have to get some points going here. If not, they're going to find themselves a little bit behind too early.
Saved back in bounds, but here comes Waldorf once again, pushing the tempo. Olson. That's going to be a foul on the floor, despite the bucket falling for Seckel. But a 6-0 start here in the first 2 minutes and 9 seconds for the number 1 team in the state in 2A, Austin Waldorf. High pass corralled by Risa Olson into the lane. A little bit of contact, but no call, and here comes Faith Academy. Hannah Bazar slows it down and starts the offense. First time we've seen Faith Academy with just kind of a controlled setting on this end of the floor so far today.
Waldorf employing a box and one. In the box, which is 4 of their defense players guarding the floor while they've got another defender on Kuchara.
They throw it away, though, after the rebound, but then a double dribble after that as Cora Gonzalez gives it back. A little bit of a sloppy start for these two. Second to last game of the day. We've already knocked off the 4A and 6A girls semifinals. 2 2A semis, and that'll be it for the Thursday action here at University High. Ball landed on the baseline. It'll go back to Faith Academy.
Been kind of a back and forth game here so far, even though Waldorf owns the 6-0 lead. Definitely high-paced action here in this 2A girls semifinal.
Camilla Stafford just into the ball game. Nice look ahead rebound. Well, the layup rather wouldn't go for Jalen Dorsett, and down with it is Waldorf. Zeckel slowing things down on the left-hand side.
Faith Academy in a man-to-man defense.
Olsen trying to drive baseline. Has it stripped away from behind, gets her own rebound, and the putback will go. And it's an 8-0 start for the Roadrunners.
Strong finish there by Olsen. She did a great job gathering the rebound, putting it back up. Excellent job. Ball's going to stay with Faith Academy after the tip.
And a travel called against Camilla Stafford right after she caught the inbound pass. They say she took a step with it before she dribbled. And it's just been a sequence of errors early on here for Faith Academy to fall into this 8-0 hole. Now one-on-one in the post, but blocked from behind. Kuchera with a nice block on Olsen. Now a pass underneath. Nice job to actually grab that and put it up and in. Stafford finds the first 2 points of the day for Faith Academy. Now on the press, nearly a steal, and a foul. It'll go against Jalen Dorsett.
A little bit of contact there.
When I talked with Kalia Mansell before the game, she said she's all about defense. That is her big focus. That is what she wants to emphasize with all of her players. Dorsett, one of their keys on the defensive side of the ball. They've now changed the score to read 7-2, and I'm not entirely sure why. I've got 8-2 on my scorebook here. We've had some issues with the scoreboard operation today.
And that's going to be the fourth.
And we've got 8 on our end. We'll keep tabs on whether or not they alter that at the scorer's table. But right now the in-house scoreboard reads 7-2. Ball knocked out of bounds. Another defensive play there by Faith Kuchera. Best player on that Cougars basketball team. Her head coach, Kalia Mansell, says she's the complete package. Offensively, defensively, she does it all for them. Nice move inside, though, for Olsen, and it's a 10-2 start for Austin Waldorf. And Olsen's got 5 in the early going. Saved back in bounds right to Kuchera. Offensive board, the putback won't go, though, for Stafford. In the corner. Nice drive to the hoop, and Daisy Palmer finishes.
Faith Academy trying to move it up the floor, though. Great dish. Couldn't finish.
Kuchera knocking it off to Annalisa Castillo. Usually the first off the bench for Faith Academy.
Faith Academy employing a press as well. Man-to-man, full court.
The only thought I can think of when it comes to the scoreboard is that maybe they said the three-pointer that started the basketball game, maybe they've changed that to a 2. It's the only logic I can come up with as to why the scoreboard in-house reads 11-2 rather than 12. 2:59 to play here in the first quarter. At the quarter break, I'll dart across to the scorer's table and cross-reference with them.
Substitution there for the Lady Cougars. Jalen Dorsett and for Faith Kuchera.
It'll be Stafford to key the inbound. Throws it right into the waiting hands of Miranda Seckel. She'll try and run the break. One-on-one inside and came up kind of gimpy and hurt her. Oh, my goodness. That looked really bad. Her left knee, and she's in a lot of pain. The way that she buckled was very concerning. We'll step aside for a commercial break here on TAPS TV. Back at University High School, Miranda Seckel, one of the best players for the #1 team in the state, Austin Waldorf, carried off the floor by the coaching and training staff for the Roadrunners. You have to imagine that she's done for the day. By the way, during that timeout, we did square away the score. It is indeed 12-2 in favor of Austin Waldorf. There was a missed free throw. That was the discrepancy in the book, but we got it all sorted out now.
Waldorf employing a 2-3 zone here. Employing a 2-3 zone.
Long 2 on the way, high off the glass, misses.
I think Olsen's going to have to pick up the slack here with Seckel out of the game.
No doubt. No, it's a huge difference for them.
Yeah, but I think Olsen can handle it. She's done well so far.
Stolen away here, though, by Faith Academy. Up ahead. Nice job to corral that. Gets it across for the layup, and Jalen Dorsett.
That cuts the lead down to 8 for the Roadrunners.
Back up the floor, though, comes Ruby Bledsoe, and she lays it in. Up and down the floor they go. Camilla Stafford draws the foul.
Called on the push. Going to go against
Goes against Daisy Palmer, 22. 99 seconds to play here in quarter number 1.
And that's going to sub in number 32.
Now I feel like we've got a discrepancy in the scoreboard again because I've got 16-4 and it reads 14-4 in-house. Putback goes. I'm going to call it 16-6 as that's the second bucket of the day for Camilla Stafford. 1:15 to play here in the first quarter.
She has 4.
Here comes Faith Academy in transition, high off the glass, and Hannah Bazar misses short but draws the foul. 59.9 to play first quarter. And an opportunity here for Faith Academy to chunk away at the lead a little bit.
Foul's going to go against number 14, Clara Pickens. It's going to be their second team foul.
Free throw falls.
Bizarre, junior point guard.
Second leading scorer for Faith Academy. Can't hit the second. Rebound, loose in the paint, knocked out of bounds, last touched by Waldorf, and it's going to stay on this end.
That was strange. Everybody looked at it and was like, well, who's supposed to grab it? And, well, here we go again for the Lady Cougars.
Corner three-pointer on the way. Misses off the front iron. Rebound tracked down, though, by Annalisa Castillo. Inside for Dorsett, and she finishes.
That cuts the lead to 5.
Pressure in the backcourt. And a travel. Absolutely. Never Wakanon with a little extra step in there, and that's going to turn the ball over. Ava McGuire checking into the basketball game now for Austin Waldorf. Dangerous pass across the defense, saved back in bounds by Jalen Dorsett, but right to Waldorf. 23 seconds to play here in the first quarter. It'll be Risa Olsen to bring it across the timeline. Pull up 3 off the back iron. The putback, though, attempt here for Pickens draws the foul, and she'll head to the free throw line for 2.
That's going to go against number 15, I believe, Sloan Turner. It's going to be the 16th foul for the Lady Cougars. They need to be careful because if they get another team foul in this first half, that's going to put Waldorf in the bonus for the rest of it. Pickens with makes the first of 2.
Pickens, one of the real sharpshooters on this basketball team. Misses the second, though, 1 of 2 at the free throw line. And now a jump ball in the lane off the rebound. Possession arrow to Faith Academy. 10.4 to do something with it here in quarter number 1. Tana Bazar, and she carried it.
Not a good play there. That puts the ball underneath the Roadrunner basket. Gives them a good chance of putting 2 points on the board. Stretch their lead to 8 or 9.
Olsen with 5. Stuck in the corner. Gets baseline. Up and under move. Misses the layup short. And that's how the first quarter will come to an end.
It was a nice move. Just wasn't able to finish.
1 quarter in the books in the 2A Girls State Semifinals. We'll be back on Taps TV. back at University High School, 15-9 after one quarter of play. Austin Waldorf, the Roadrunners, the #1 team in the state in 2A, leading Faith Academy by 6. But for these final 3 quarters, will apparently be without one of their leading scorers, Miranda Seckel, the senior guard, number 23, laying on the trainer's table just to the side of their bench. Went down with a left knee injury there midway through the first quarter and has not returned, does not figure to return. They say that ball was knocked out of bounds by Faith Academy. I could have sworn it went off of Risa Olson's left hand and out of bounds, but it stays on this end. Waldorf, nice look underneath, and the layup goes for Bledsoe.
That's an excellent job, way to finish. Good, tough
And now
basket.
Bledsoe knocks it away. It'll stay on this end.
Like to see that. I definitely, does a great job finishing down here. Hustles on defense, gets the tip, slows down the possession. It's a good two-way player right there.
Long pass over top of the defense, and it's stolen away. Pickens comes away with the steal. Risa Olson. Strong first quarter out of her. 5 points in the opening frame. And a nice
Wide
move
open.
underneath to get wide open for the lay-in, and it's Ruby Bledsoe again, and the lead is ballooned to 10. Kuchera quickly up the floor. We haven't seen a whole lot out of her yet. She can't finish there underneath, and it's out of bounds back to Austin Waldorf.
Waldorf moving through that man-to-man press of Faith Academy.
And throwing it over the top to a wide open Ava McGuire, but he's chased down from behind. Faith Kuchera with the chase down block to erase 2 points off the board for Austin Waldorf. In the corner now, three-pointer on the way, misses long from Camilla Stafford. And here comes Olson once again. Risa Olson racing up floor, knifing through the defense, but can't finish the layup. Loose ball corralled by Olson. She puts it up, but they're going to say no, a jump ball beforehand. And the possession arrow will give it to Faith Academy.
Coach Olson now arguing for a foul there, not going to get it though.
Minute and a half gone by here in the second quarter. Kuchera tied up momentarily, but able to get it away. Hannah Bazar underneath, and a foul drawn by Camilla Stafford.
Good ball movement there by the Lady Cougars. Excellent job of working it around. Waldorf
Say the
really,
foul came on the floor.
Yeah, and Waldorf's trying to play this kind of a loose 2-3 zone. Maybe switch to man-to-man every now and then. You really got to make them pay if they're not being aggressive on the defensive end.
Nearly not, and it is knocked out of bounds. Probably not a smart decision there from Sloan Turner to chase that one down, because I think it would have been last touched by Waldorf. They got a piece of it as it came in bounds. Just let that ball roll out of bounds and throw it in once again. Instead, she chased after it, knocked it out of bounds, and it goes over to the Roadrunners. McGuire throws it in the corner, nearly throws it away. Try and get it out to Olson, but it's loose on the deck. Scramble for it, and a jump ball, and this time it will stay on this end.
Waldorf clinging to a 10-point lead. 6:01 left in the second.
Baseline inbound comes to Olson. Has it blocked from behind Kuchera. Nice defensive effort, but the loose ball is picked up by Waldorf. Back out for Pickens. Now to Olson. Driving into the lane, has it blocked, but a foul on the body.
Looks like they're going to call that on. It's going to go against Stafford. It's going to put Olson at the line for 2.
Olson misses the first.
Even though it's a 10-point game, it's still pretty close. Both teams have had a little bit of trouble hitting some open shots, but they're hanging in there.
2:15 elapsed here in the second quarter. Second free throw goes for Olsen. Faith Academy trying to break the pressure here. And a steal, stepping in front of the pass and laying it in is Ava McGuire, and the lead has ballooned to 13. Quickly up the floor comes Jalen Dorsett, and she draws the foul.
Going to be a block called. It's going to go against number 15, Theo Morin.
Manny Santana with the, how do I say it, expressive block call?
Yeah, very expressive. But I
Anderson Evans, our crew chief, and Aaron Gomez, the other official out there today. Jumper misses long. .5:15 to play second quarter, and Reese Olsen and Austin Waldorf are in control right now, up 13. Olsen, a little hesitation move, gives on the left wing. Daisy Palmer. Now back to Olsen. Right side of the lane, picks up her dribble. Now a loose ball on the baseline as it was Morin that threw it away. And now just haphazardly throwing it up the floor is Faith Academy, but it works out. Up ahead, layup won't go for Stafford.
A little bit of interesting fast break there. Pass it up to nobody. Almost make the basket.
Hope that somebody's going to chase after it, and they do. Now back the other way, it's Olsen for three.
Definitely a clutch shot there from Olsen. Excellent job there to kind of put the dagger in it so far. Gives them a 16-point lead over Faith Academy.
25-9. Austin Waldorf opening up the advantage. And Risa Olsen being serenaded with the Kobe chant from the Austin Waldorf crowd. Of course, she wears number 24. So far on the day, 1, 3, 5, 6, 9 points so far. As many by herself as Faith Academy has through a quarter and a half.
And just think, if Seckel would have been able to continue to play in the game, it could be even more points, because her and Olsen were able to play off of each other, but Olsen's kind of having to really shoulder the load, not completely, but having to do a lot more ball handling. Definitely having to, kind of be that leader offensively and defensively. But she's getting good contributions from her teammates, though, for sure.
4 points early here in the second quarter from Ruby Bledsoe helped to open up the lead. It was 14-9. Since then, an 11-0 run to open up this 16-point lead. Faith Academy trying to break the press. They get it up ahead for Jalen Dorsett. Dorsett in the corner. Stafford for three. High off the glass and no good. And here comes Olsen once again in transition. Pulls back on the right wing. Wide open on the block, but quickly closed off, but gets her own rebound, and Bledsoe puts it in.
It's a great second effort there.
Austin Waldorf tripling up Faith Academy Victoria. Kick out for Kuchera, top of the key, three-pointer on the way high off the glass, but the offensive board for Bazar. Another offensive rebound for Faith Academy, but it's knocked out of bounds, and it goes back to Waldorf.
I think if you're Waldorf here, if you can get, 6, 8, 10 more points, really wouldn't say put this game out of range, but it's definitely going to help.
Steal here as Faith Academy sets up the press. Nearly a travel there by Dorsett. Kuchera, left wing three, misses short. Put back, though, will go, and the foul Jalen Dorsett with a chance for the old-fashioned three.
Good job finishing there. That's going to go against number 5, Ruby Bledsoe of the Roadrunners. See if she can make it 3 points the old-fashioned way. And she does. Makes it a 15-point game.
Credit to Austin Waldorf, though. They've done a really nice job of closing off opportunities for Faith Kuchera. Best player for this Faith Academy squad, still yet to score so far tonight. Timeout called by Eric Olson, the head coach for Austin Waldorf, as they were trapped in the corner there. 3:08 to play first half. But Austin Waldorf has been in control pretty much from the jump.
Yeah, absolutely. Their defensive pressure and just, you know, not that Faith Academy's not hustling. They definitely are, but Waldorf is just, they're just able to, you know, score a little bit more often, able to get more stops defensively. They're just able to kind of control the breaks of the game a little bit better than Faith Academy is right now. Faith Academy can hit some shots, I think, when we get back into this game, but if their offense doesn't get going, I think it might be hard for them to kind of get their foot back into the doorway here for this game.
Winner of this game plays the winner of Southcrest Christian and Coram Deo out of Plano. That game coming your way at 8 o'clock here on TAPS TV. Ball knocked away. Faith Academy coming away with the steal as Annalisa Castillo comes up with the basketball. Right wing for Jade Thomas. Now to Kuchera. Gets baseline. Tries to find somebody in the lane. Goes through the hands of Dorsett. Now they get it back to Dorsett on the block. Now once again, Dorsett. This time she'll go up with it, can't hit. Offensive board, fought for in the lane, and ripped away by Daisy Palmer. Ruby Bledsoe in there to help out as well. And they get it back to Olson. 2.5 to play first half.
Trying to get an easy look there for Olson.
She has it on the right wing. Step back three. All net.
Definitely the student section here for Waldorf getting excited.
12.5 for Risa Olson. Kuchera trying to finally get on the board, still can't. And a foul underneath against Faith Academy.
It's going to go against number 3, Annalisa Castillo. Definitely would call that a frustration foul. That's going to put Waldorf at the line. Really the person you don't want to put there, Olson. That's her able to get a couple points on the board. If she can make both of these, this will give Waldorf a 20-point lead.
Hits the front end. Can't hit the second. She's at 13 points, though, on the day, outscoring Faith Academy by herself.
Impressive, nonetheless. That is for sure.
Jade Thomas now gets it back. 15-footer, misses long. Kuchera down with the rebound. Jump ball. It'll stay on this end. .134 to play here in the first half. Hannah Bazar throws it on the left-hand side, throws it away as Annalisa Castillo can't corral it. And here comes Waldorf once again, already up 19 and looking to add to it. The infirm control of this basketball game from the opening tip. The #1 team in the state showing why through 2 quarters of play. Olson kicks it out. Ruby Tunney now back to Olson. Olsen, pump fake, fires it at the iron and misses short. May getting blocked on the way there, but there for the easy steal is Daisy Palmer, as Faith Academy has just been haphazard with the basketball in this first half. Olsen. Are they going to count the basket or no?
It's going to be 1-on-1.
Yeah. So the foul on the floor before the shot went up.
See if she can get him a couple more points.
The officials were communicating back and forth, trying to decide what the foul would be. This is the front end of the 1-and-1. And that's a travel. Faith Academy has just been not very solid with the basketball.
They haven't. I mean, they've been hustling hard. They've been trying, but Waldorf's just done a better job knowing where to be, taking care of the ball, except on that one.
Here they take it away. Up ahead for Hannah Bazar, and she lays it in.
No quitting the Lady Cougars, though. Waldorf going to try
5
to get
seconds here.
one more shot.
Olsen has it stolen away. 1 second. She's got to fire it. She doesn't realize it. And that's the end of the half. 31-14. Austin Waldorf showing very clearly why they are the #1 team in the state in 2A.
Yeah, absolutely. They've done a great job taking care of the ball for the most part. They've done a good job at really doing what they do well. They do a good job defensively. They do a good job getting open on the offensive end. And obviously Olsen kind of leading the charge for them has been huge. Faith Academy, on the other hand, as I said before, just be a little careless with the basketball. If they can kind of group together in the second half, take care of the ball, and they're going to hit some shots. Because the problem is they just, they've got a lot of points off fast breaks. They've gotten a lot of points off, I wouldn't say trash buckets, but just buckets where it's, a lot off a rebound or just off somebody falling down. And so they're really going to have to just work hard in this second half if they want to get back in it.
First meeting for these two teams since the 2013 regional final, a game that Faith Academy won. The reintroduction has been rude on the part of Austin Waldorf. A 31-14 first half performance led by 13 points from Risa Olsen, and they lead by 17 at the break in the 2A state semifinal. We'll be back on TAPS TV. Back at University High School, 2A state semifinal action as we are ready for the second half of Faith Academy Victoria and Austin Waldorf. The number 1 team in the state in 2A, Austin Waldorf, the Roadrunners, out to a 31-14 lead through 2 quarters. 13 points from Risa Olson leading the way, 6 more from Ruby Bledsoe. And it will be Waldorf with the first possession of the second half. Knocked out of bounds as they tried to knock it in the first time, but they'll have another shot at it here. 2 seconds into the frame, and that is a straight throwaway, and it's going to be Kuchera to come away with the steal. Faith Kuchera, the best player on this Faith Academy team, did not score in the first half. They need a lot more from her if a comeback is forthcoming. Nice look underneath. Layup goes for Jalen Dorsett.
Great job working the ball inside. Faith Academy trying to slow it down, trying to get a little bit of pressure here on Waldorf.
Olson in the corner. 3-pointer goes. Daisy Palmer. And the lead's out to 18.
Olson has really been a great facilitator and great leader here for the Roadrunners here in this game, especially with Seckle being out.
Nice move underneath, but they can't finish as it comes off the hand of Cora Gonzalez, and back the other way comes Olson. Hounded from behind, but able to get free. Tries to line up a 3-pointer, but travels with it before she can get it off.
Yep, just slid a little bit. So, let's see. Faith Academy inbound it. Roadrunners not really pressing as much as they were in the second half. Still clinging to an 18-point lead.
Trying to add to it here, but can't. Ball knocked into the backcourt. Saved, but only to be knocked right back out of bounds, and it will be Faith Academy. I beg your pardon, Waldorf ball.
Good hustle there by Hannah Bazaar to try to save it.
Roadrunners with an 18-point lead and trying to pile on here early on in the third quarter. A long 3 goes.
Sheesh, that was ice in the veins right there from Miss Olson.
Risa Olson just showing off tonight. She's got 16 now on the game. 18-footer won't go for Gonzalez.
I think Waldorf's content to let them shoot those elbow jumpers all day long. Haven't been super effective on them.
Waldorf also content to let some time run off the clock. Off the screen, Olson, nice feed underneath, and a foul. Ruby Bledsoe headed to the free throw line.
Gonna get him for the body. Gonna go against number 10, that's Jade Thomas, Faith Academy.
Charge number 10, Jade Thomas. At the line for the Roadrunners, number 5, Ruby Bledsoe.
That's going to put Ruby Bledsoe at the line. This is the first. Substitutions coming in, number 3 and number 12. Annalise Castillo and Camilla Stafford in the ball game for the Lady Cougars. Second free throw is no good.
Rebound pulled down, though, on the far side by Olson. 2 and 15 gone by here in the third quarter. Olson, nice move to get past the defense. Can't get the jumper to go. Rebound, though, front 4, and Bledsoe's heading back to the free throw line.
Really like the effort Bledsoe's getting down low. She's great, getting great position, able to get some rebounds, offensive looks. Really doing a great job for the Roadrunners. She's really kind of neutralizing the lack of inside presence so far from the Roadrunners with her great play.
Free throw falls for Bledsoe.
Roadrunners continue to stretch their lead, now at 22 and 23.
39-16. And just a massive mountain in front of Faith Academy. Kuchera still yet to score today, trying to change that here. Can't hit. Just a frustrating night for Faith Kuchera, the senior guard. Just not able to get anything going. Inside they find Bledsoe, she can't finish. Here comes Kuchera, 2-on-3. Right into the teeth of the defense, and she finishes.
See if this can get her started.
Her first bucket of the day. Now a baseball pass the length of the floor and knocked out of bounds by Jalen Dorsett. It'll stay with Austin Waldorf.
Waldorf and Faith Academy, two definitely say regional powers here in TAPS 2A women's basketball. Kind of make it to the state final 4 every couple years.
Olsen into the lane, has it blocked by Kuchera, gets it back, but now loose again, and here comes Faith Academy. Up the floor comes Bazar, and it's kicked away. It'll stay on this end.
Winner of this game will take on the winner of Southcrest Christian and Coram Deo of Plano. Play at 8 o'clock this evening.
Ball tipped inside. Somehow it ends up with Kuchera, and she finishes.
And if Kuchera can get started here, first 4 points of the ball game so far.
And she gets a steal here. Faith Kuchera taking over the last couple of moments of the game. 6 quick points, and the lead's down to 17. And before that goes any further, Eric Olsen says, let's talk things over. 4:21 to play, third quarter, 39-22. And Faith Kuchera, who had not scored all game, but certainly came into this game with a pedigree and an expectation. Kalia Mansell, their head coach, told me before the game that she's their best player. She's their most complete player and also their leading scorer, yet had not scored through nearly 2.5 quarters. Now here in a very short span, 6 straight points, unanswered by Austin Waldorf, and the lead's down to 17.
Yeah, if she really wants to get her team back in, she's really going to have to lead it not only from the offensive side, but from the defensive side of the floor as well.
Castillo, Stafford, Bazar, Kuchera, and Jalen Dorsett on the floor for Faith Academy out of the timeout. Risa Olsen, Ruby Tunney, Daisy Palmer, Theo Morin, and on the far side, Clara Pickens on the floor for Austin Waldorf as they break the press, but then it's knocked out of bounds. It's going to stay on this end. We're lucky it didn't knock our clock camera out of position. People can still see that there's 4 minutes and 10 seconds to play in the third quarter. Blocked from behind by Kuchera, but a foul. And Risa Olsen will head to the free throw line.
It's a good job by Olsen really going into the body of Kuchera. Really doing a great job trying to initiate the contact, forcing Kuchera to come down and try to block her straight down instead of, kind of out. So good job there. Good heads-up play by the offensive player.
Olsen can't hit the first free throw, though.
Kind of thought this one might be over with, but Faith Academy still fighting hard. Cut the lead down to 17.
Second free throw from Olsen goes. Faith Academy still with a ton of work to do, though, and they need Faith Kuchera to stay hot. Right wing 3 on the way. Misses short off the hands of Stafford. And Olsen down with the rebound. Past the midway point of the third quarter. Olsen down the right side of the lane. Draws the foul yet again. And Faith Kuchera can't believe it.
Foul's going to go against her. I think that's probably going to be her third foul.
I think based on the signal,
4.
Is that 4? I'm trying to get the attention of the scorer's table to be sure. But I believe that is her 4th foul. I can tell you one thing for sure. She's coming off the floor here after this first free throw from Risa Olsen. Olsen had to get some tape or perhaps a Band-Aid on the back of her left hand. Bad timing for Faith Academy because just when Kuchera was getting hot, now she's got to come off the floor in foul trouble.
That's going to hurt him. She's been kind of a spark offensively for him. Let's see if Waldorf can really kind of put the pressure on him with not much size inside anymore.
Olsen hits one of two yet again. Lead back out to 19. We've seen it as big as 23 here in the second half. Three-pointer on the way. All net off the hands of Hannah Bazar. Lead down to 16. They keep the pressure on. Olsen has to pick up her dribble in the backcourt. Now gets it back. Across the timeline. In time. Olsen hounded by Bazar. Picks up her dribble once again, 35 feet from the hoop. Trouble in the lane, and a travel. And Faith Academy's defense starting to create some havoc down on this end.
Yeah, they're doing a good job really keeping everything in front of them, keeping their feet active, doing a great job playing good team defense.
There's a big hill in front of Faith Academy to be able to pull off this comeback. But this is a team that y'all in the audience, and you, Matt Tarbutton, as well, should know, has already overcome quite a bit. Jade Thomas broke her hip in a car accident, has made her way back on the floor. Hannah Cornwell just beat cancer. She was diagnosed with leukemia in 8th grade, went through chemo, and rang the bell this year that she's cancer-free. They throw it away here, though, down 16 with 2:46 in the third. And Rebecca Hurt, just to add to the list, had an autoimmune disease that made it so that she couldn't even walk. Now she's back on the floor playing basketball. Just an impressive group, regardless of the outcome today. But here trying to create some pressure in the midcourt, and a foul. The Faith Academy fans behind us can't believe it. Jalen Dorsett called for the foul.
Well, and here's the thing. Olsen is off the floor right now. So if they're going to get something done, if they're going to really cut down on this lead, time is now.
Air ball rebounded by Camilla Stafford, and she's going to push the tempo. Knifing across the lane. Nice look. Rebound. The layup rather missed short. Lots of pressure in the backcourt. Time elapsing here. Waldorf has got to get it across the timeline. They just barely do. And now a travel.
Coach Olsen imploring his team to calm down, take their time. Obviously they're getting pressed in the front court. Once they get it across, they'll be fine.
Feed the post. Post-to-post passing, and Camilla Stafford finishes. Lead down to 14. Pressure from behind, and it's stolen away. Did she stay in bounds? Only just barely, they say. And now a foul. First foul of the half against Austin Waldorf. Faith Academy, with as much as they've been pressing defensively, have already committed 5 fouls in the second half. As Jade Thomas stands to come back in the basketball game for Stafford.
Jay Thomas checking in for the Cougars.
1:44 third quarter. And Faith Academy has already peeled what was a 23-point lead down to 14. Can they pull closer? Nice inside passing yet again. Bucket and the foul for Jalen Dorsett, and a chance for 3.
Great job there, way to finish. Really kind of clawing away at this lead. 12 points separates the two. Let's see if they can push it down to 11. And no.
Free throw won't go. But even despite that, it is a 13-2 run for Faith Academy. Lead down to 12. They basically need to do that all over again to truly get back in this basketball game. Olsen misses long. Offensive board and a foul. Theo Morin to the free throw line for 2.
That foul is going to go against number 3, Annalise Castillo.
Free throw was long but good. High off the glass and finds the bottom. Morin can push the lead back to 14 if this one falls. And it does. Still on the bench sits Faith Kuchera as Faith Academy tries to find offense elsewhere. Near wing in the hands of Jade Thomas, now in the corner. Now back to Thomas. Cross court, Castillo. On the baseline, had it knocked out of bounds, but it'll stay on this end. 52.9 third quarter.
14-point lead. 14-point lead for the Roadrunners of Austin Waldorf. So Faith Academy can claw back at that lead.
Corner 3 won't go, but the offensive glass again for Jalen Dorsett pays dividends. Lead down to a dozen.
Dorsett's really been a catalyst for this Faith Academy team here in this second half. Good job defensively and able to get some tough buckets down low.
This time, though, Waldorf breaks the press beautifully, and it leads to a wide open layup for Morin. Final 25 seconds of the third quarter. Three-pointer on the way. Misses short. Offensive board. And the putback won't go, but Jade Thomas will head to the free throw line after she grabs her own board.
That foul's going to go against number 5, Ruby Bledsoe.
$18.4 to play. As she misses the first. Thomas, a senior, she's the one who we mentioned before was in a car accident and broke her hip. Now she's back playing basketball. Misses both free throws, but a tie-up jump ball will keep it on this end. And Faith Academy will have 16.6 to work with to find a bucket before the end of the third. Inbounds for Thomas. Baseline jumper, all net. Final 10 seconds of the quarter. Down to 3. I don't know how that wasn't a 10-second violation because there was about 12 when they inbounded the basketball, but no matter. No points there at the end of the frame, and after 3, it's 45-33 in favor of Austin Waldorf. We'll be back with the fourth quarter on TAPS TV. Fourth quarter in Waco. The 2A state semifinals in TAPS girls basketball. The number 7 Faith Academy Cougars trail by a dozen as we start the final frame. Number 1 Austin Waldorf with a 45-33 advantage. And it will be Waldorf ball to start the fourth. Ruby Tunney to key the inbound. McGuire hounded at midcourt. Gets it off to Tunney. Now baseline for Bledsoe. Back to Tunney, pump fake. Brings it back to Bledsoe. Bledsoe drives baseline and lays it in.
Stretches the lead to 14 for the Roadrunners. Trying to pull away in this fourth quarter ball game.
At some point, you got to get Faith Kuchera back in the game. Cross court, knocked away and stolen. Here comes Olsen. Lays it in.
Heck of a finish. Great body control. Able to go up to the basket strong. Stretch the lead to 16.
In a blink, it's back to 16. Nice look in the corner. Long two. Misses well long. Trying to find an open person inside, but Jalen Dorsett was not open. Up ahead now off the turnover, it's Pickens. Just throws it in the air. They say she traveled with it beforehand.
I was about to say, if that goes in the basket, that would have been crazy. But it didn't, and it's travel anyways.
16-point game, 49-33, 7:08 to play here in the fourth quarter. Faith Kuchera sits at the end of the Faith Academy bench, waiting for her opportunity to rejoin the ball game. Faith Academy able to break the press. Kick out, three-pointer, all net. It's Jade Thomas once again.
Thomas has done a great job really battling, getting some good buckets.
They break the press, find an easy layup, but they miss it. And the rebound pulled down by Faith Academy. It's Bazar to run the break. And the layup will go.
11-point game, Roadrunners up.
Now they've got Olsen trapped in the backcourt. She has to baseball pass it up floor and throws it away. And now a foul.
I think she kind of knew, whoop, shouldn't have done that one. That's going to send Pickens to the bench. Going to give Faith Academy the ball. 6.5 left.
And a pump fake leads to a turnover as Thomas tried to pump fake a pass and instead threw it right to the defense. Now she knocks it out of bounds, but it will stay with Waldorf.
That was an interesting turn of events. I don't know if I've seen that too often.
She just kind of lost it as she pump faked and gave it away. Olsen with her team up 11. Spins into the defense, passes out of it. Jumper won't go for Tunney, but the offensive board leads to free throws for Ruby Bledsoe. Free throw falls.
Wonder if they're going to ever bring Kuchera back in.
I'm honestly beginning to wonder if we lost count of how many did she have. 5 fouls. Is she already done? And we just didn't realize that was the case. Turnover here in transition. Knocked away by Bledsoe after she hit 1 of 2. Now making a play on the defensive end. 6 minutes to play. A 12-point lead for Waldorf. Olsen down the left side of the lane. Can't hit the layup. Hannah Bazar in transition. Takes it all herself and lays it in with the floater.
Starting to think that this is going to be Austin Waldorf's game. 10-point lead for him.
And that's a travel. Absolutely.
You know, if news reporting doesn't work out, I think you might have a future in sports officiating. I know it's not as a exciting career path, but
No, listen, my father did it for years when I was a kid growing up. I've got a little bit of a background in it, if we're being honest.
well, there you go.
I'm going to let you carry this for a moment. I'm going to double check the scorebook real quick.
So with 5.5 minutes left to go, we got 50-40. Austin Waldorf ahead of the Cougars of Faith Academy of Victoria. Winner of this basketball game will take on the winner of the next game, which starts about 8 p.m. between the Coram Deo of Plano and Southcrest Christian of Lubbock.
I just wanted to double check, and it is indeed the case that Faith Kuchera has 4 fouls. They just have not brought her back in the ball game yet. Credit to Faith Academy. They've been able to steadily peel back this lead bit by bit, and they've got it down to 10 right now, which is as close as they've been. Goodness, it's as close as they've been since the first half. They have not been this close since 19-9 early on in the second quarter. They have peeled it back within 10, thanks in large part to Hannah Bazar here in this fourth quarter. A couple of big buckets for her.
And Kuchera makes her way back onto the floor.
And sure enough, on cue, here comes their best player, their leading scorer, Faith Kuchera. 5:29 to play. She's got 4 fouls. But in a 10-point game, Kalia Mansell decides now's the time to roll the dice. Inside, ball knocked away. Nice steal by Ruby Bledsoe.
Bledsoe has really done a great job. Been very active on the defensive end, able to make some good buckets down low on the offensive end. She's been a huge catalyst besides Olsen for the Lady Roadrunners.
Olsen can't hit. Rebound pulled down by Faith Academy. Stafford trying to run with it. Going 1-on-3, and she finishes.
Great bucket with contact.
Camilla Stafford cuts the lead to 8. Olsen dribbles into the trap but passes through it. Leads to a jumper for Bledsoe. Back to a 10-point game.
Faith Academy's going to have to get some stops here. Got to score too, but got to get stops.
Ball knocked out of bounds after the miss. It'll stay on this end.
Substitution coming in for the Roadrunners. It's going to be Clara Pickens. She's going to take over for Eva McGuire.
Baseline inbound for Faith Academy in the corner. Now up top for Bazar. And she throws it away. Now a loose ball and a jump ball will keep it on this end. So nice hustle from Faith Academy to at least keep the ball on their end, but a throwaway there by Hannah Bazar. "16-footer won't go for Stafford, but they pull down the offensive board. Cross-court pass. Wide open, misses long as Castillo can't finish. Have to get Kuchera the basketball, you got to think, at least on some of these possessions, give her an opportunity to get hot again. That's going to be their chance to get back into this basketball game. And since she's come back into the game, it's been now more than a minute and a half, almost 2 full minutes she's been on the floor. I haven't seen her touch the basketball. Trying to get the rebound here. Loose. Waldorf comes up with it. A 10-point lead and 3:40 to play in the fourth quarter. Olsen trying to kill some time. Off the screen, gives underneath. Bledsoe has it blocked, but it comes right to a wide open Clara Pickens, and she buries the jumper.
And that's really been what's helped Waldorf stay ahead in this game. They've made shots. Faith Academy hustling hard, trying hard on defense, just has not been able to convert a lot of their buckets.
Three-pointer misses. Foul on this end is going to go against Waldorf. Jade Thomas with a nice fight on the baseline to try and get around Ruby Tunney, and Tunney gets called for the foul. 3 minutes, 11 seconds to play, fourth quarter. Again, I still have not seen Kuchera touch the ball on the offensive end of the floor. Makes you wonder what. why save her? They needed to bring her into the game for exactly this reason, and they have not utilized her yet. Driving layup won't go for Castillo, and Olsen down with the rebound. Tunney in trouble, 10-second violation. I'm honestly surprised it took that long for a 10-second violation to be called in this basketball game, the way the Faith Academy has been pressuring Austin Waldorf in the backcourt. There were a couple of times where I thought they were going to get the call and just missed it. This time they do get the turnover, and down a dozen, they've got to go to work. Timeout, Kalia Mansell.
That's a good timeout, kind of rally the troops. You still got 12-point leads you got to dig into, but got to start making some outside shots. That's really how they're going to close the lead. They haven't made a whole lot of them, so they're going to have to dig deep here with, under 3 minutes left to go in this semifinal game.
And again, not to beat a dead horse here, but get the ball to your best player. She's now been on the floor with those 4 fouls for pushing 3 full minutes, and I still don't think she's touched the ball on the offensive end.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if it's just maybe a team chemistry thing. I don't know. You kind of wonder. A lot of these, teams are obviously small schools. They're around each other a lot. You never know.
She got hot there in that third quarter before she picked up 2 quick fouls to have 4. Now she's back on the floor, though, and down a dozen. Faith Academy needs to get something going. In the lane, missing short. Rebound pulled down. They have another opportunity at it, and Stafford will head to the line.
Foul's going to go against number 22, Daisy Palmer.
First free throw clanks off the backboard. One more for Stafford, who's been very good in the second half. Second one off the backboard and in. Lead down to 11. Pressuring once again is Waldorf. Or should I say Faith Academy. Waldorf able to break the press. Corner jumper. Misses long. Offensive board, though, for Waldorf.
Looking to take some time off the clock. 2:15 and counting.
Yeah, Eric Olsen, the head coach, hollering at them to slow it down, bring it back out top, set the offense. Kuchera tried to come from behind and swipe it away. Came just a half a beat late and couldn't get there. 2 minutes to play. Tunney trying to get it to Olsen. Finally does. Seconds bleeding off the clock.
Almost at 1:45.
Kuchera swiping across, can't quite pull it away. Olsen gets it on the left wing for Ruby Bledsoe, and she draws the foul.
If you're Coach Olsen for Waldorf, that's what you want. You want to bleed some time off the clock. They definitely bleeded about, bled. Bleeded's not a word there. Great from the teacher in the crowd. Bled about 30 seconds off the clock. That's pretty good execution there from Waldorf. Still clinging to this 11-point lead. If they can get Bledsoe to at least hit 1 of 2, it's really going to help them.
Pardon my ignorance, is English your subject?
No. No.
Free throw falls for Ruby Bledsoe. Lead back to a dozen. Bledsoe's had a very nice second half. Second one won't go, but another offensive board. Back to Olsen, now a tie-up, and it will stay on this end.
So Waldorf, a minute and a half away from a state championship game appearance. Careless pass.
And it's ripped away finally by Kuchera. 90 seconds to play, 12-point game. Kuchera, nice look underneath. Layup won't go. 20-footer from just inside the line. That won't go either for Bizarre.
One thing I like about Kuchera's game is she does a good job facilitating. She's obviously one of the taller players on the floor. I think if I was Coach Mansell, you know, obviously, you know, not much you can do about it now. But I may have tried to, you know, get her the ball a little bit more at the point, allow her to kind of dish and drive and, you know, kind of facilitate the basketball, because she's got some high people who've got to close down on her on defense. So there's something you kind of look at, you know, coulda, woulda, shoulda, but.
First free throw for Daisy Palmer finds the bottom. Lead up to 13 with $1:17 to play. Second one won't go, but a foul underneath on the free throw, on the rebound, I should say.
Most of the contributors on both these teams are upperclassmen. Got 4 seniors for the Waldorf Lady Roadrunners. You got Daisy Palmer, Miranda Seckel, Risa Olson, and Ruby Tunney. And then for Faith Academy, you've got Kuchera, who's shooting her front side of 1-1. And then also Jay Thomas joins her as a senior as well.
Kuchera does a nice job to grab the offensive board right out of the hands of Daisy Palmer and put it up. But probably a little too late here, as they're still down 11 with a minute to play. And they'll bring it up top in the hands of Tunney and try and eat some more clock. Screaming for a foul was Kalia Mansell. She finally gets it.
Foul's going to go against number 13, Hannah Bazar, junior point guard for Faith Academy.
2 free throws now for Ruby Tunney. 54.2 to play. This one is all but over. And Austin Waldorf, the #1 team in the state in 2A, set to move on to the championship game, where they'll play the winner of our final game of the day here at University High School. Southcrest Christian and Coram Deo square off at 8 o'clock. And we'll bring that to you right here on TAPS TV, game number 6 of our day. She misses both free throws, which keeps whatever faint glimmer of a hope is alive for Faith Academy. Kuchera stepped on the sideline.
And when you look at it with these 45 seconds left on the clock, really what Waldorf has done well is they've executed better. They've been able to score offensively, get some stops on defense, and really, you know, being able to do those little things right. Faith Academy, although they've hustled hard, you know, gotten some good stops on defense, just have not been able to convert on the offensive end of the floor.
56-44, 40.1 seconds to play. Austin Waldorf set to move on. 5 games already in the books here. Well, almost 5. It'll be 5 in a little under a minute worth of play. And one more girls semifinal yet to finish up. There were 6 other girls semifinals today over at Robinson High School, not too far away. The 5A, 3A, and 1A girls semifinals.
Winner of those semifinal games will meet tomorrow at West High School, north of Waco here, along I-35.
In the least surprising development of the day, an issue with the clock here in the final minute of the game. 40.35 seconds. I've never really understood, why have a clock that has hundredths of a second? Tenths of a second is plenty. They run it down to 38.82 now. As the inbound pass comes to Olson, and a timeout called immediately by Eric Olson. You can't help but wonder, though, for the immediate future for Austin Waldorf. Whoever they end up playing in tomorrow's championship game, be it Southcrest Christian or Coram Deo out of Plano, what is the status of Miranda Seckel?
She's done.
Think that she's not going to play tomorrow based on what we saw transpire down to our left in that first quarter. It certainly looks like something that she's not coming back from in 24 hours time.
Correct. Yeah, it looks.
And that drastically impacts the number one team in the state.
Unfortunately, a lot of times you see in accidents like that tends to be something along the lines of a knee injury, ACL, meniscus, something like that. And you hate to see that, especially for a senior.
Yeah, she's got her left knee wrapped. It was very clearly a left knee injury. It's just a question of, like you're saying, was it the ACL or was it hopefully something less severe than that?
And the frustrating thing for her, finding out at halftime, she rehabbed the right ACL last year.
Yeah.
And so, be able to come back, get your team to a state semifinal game, and then not be able to complete the journey is kind of frustrating. But I know her teammates are thinking of her and really going to push hard today and tomorrow to try to bring that home forward.
Final 38 seconds here from University High. An 11-point edge for Waldorf. Credit to Faith Academy doing everything they can to try and create some havoc here in the final 30 seconds. They do create the turnover. Hannah Bazar up ahead. Kuchera can't finish. 26.1 to play in the foul underneath. Beg your pardon, they're going to say it was out of bounds off of Waldorf, so it'll stay with Faith Academy on that end. Inbounds pass knocked out of bounds once again by Olsen. They're going to say it's last touched by Jade Thomas. And it will be Roadrunners ball, 24.6 to play. But they create the turnover here and take it back, 23.6 to play.
Faith Academy's trying, no doubt about that. As we said before, just have not been able to convert on the offensive end enough today.
I will give, as the runner goes for Hannah Bazar, lead down to 9, 16.7 to play.
Timeout's going to be taken by Faith Academy. Looks like it's going to be the full minute variety.
The girls' game has this over the boys' game. There is zero quit until triple zeros on the clock. In that situation, and I don't mean to make it so black and white that it's just boys and girls, but it seems to be that if you're watching a boys' game and it's an 11-point game with 20 seconds left, you're backing off. You let them dribble out the clock. The game's over. These girls are not quitting in any way, shape, or form, even though the chances of them coming back and winning this game, Faith Academy, are probably well less than 1%. Mm-hmm. Zero quit whatsoever in this entire squad. Credit to Kalia Mansell and the coaching staff. They are playing hard right down to the very last moment. And we've seen that, frankly, all day today. Mm-hmm. All of these games have been, frankly, decided in the final minute.
For sure. And
I don't think any of these games has been up in the air with 30 seconds to play. But still, every single second of the game, they play right to the very end. And they continue here down 9 with 16 seconds to play, and they create the turnover here with the pressure. And they'll take it back. Again, it's not impossible. It's really, really close to impossible. But they're going to keep playing it out and try and create something impossible out of these 16.8 seconds. Has to be a three-pointer here. Jump ball, and it's going to go back to Waldorf. The first mistake was throwing it anywhere other than outside the three-point line.
Very true. Yeah,
if you're going to create the impossible, it's got to be three three-pointers, and they've got to happen immediately. Lots of contact. And now holding her left foot is the other leading scorer for Austin Waldorf, Risa Olsen. The last thing they can afford to have happen is for her to get hurt, too.
Yeah, she got hurt.
She seems to be fine, walking it off without any incident, but they've already lost one of their two leading scorers. They can't afford to lose the other heading into the state championship game.
Yeah, I think these people, or really these girls, need to learn how to come back, from the, kind of a 9 to 10 point lead. in a short amount of time. Go back, research Reggie Miller. And did it several times for the Pacers back in the 90s. Most of these kids obviously weren't born to the 2000s.
That is a
history
frightening
lesson.
thought, isn't it?
Yeah, that's kind of scares me. I'm getting old. Ripe old, 33 years old.
Kuchera in transition fires the three. That won't go either. And with 3.8 to play, possession arrow will keep it on this end. One final shot for Faith Academy.
See if she gets it.
It'll be a corner three for Jade Thomas that goes begging. 56-47, the final score, as Faith Academy falls in the state title game. The Austin Waldorf Roadrunners, the #1 team in the state, despite an injury to one of their leading scorers early on in this basketball game, advanced to the state championship with a 9-point win over Faith Academy.
And as these teams shake hands, you know, you can't, as I said, can't fault Faith Academy on a great effort here. Obviously reaching semifinals for the first time in several years. You know, they were just not able to convert a lot. You know, hustled on offense, hustled on defense, just couldn't get the shots to fall. But to really be able to hang in there, you know, play within 10 points, definitely something you can't be ashamed of. So great job there for them on a great season. And then, you know, for Waldorf, hey, you got a little time to go sleep, a little time to go rest, study your opponent, and get ready for the state championship game tomorrow.
It's always hard to watch when that moment hits for a senior playing in their final game. Anybody that's ever played sports, certainly if you've ever played high school sports, you've experienced that moment where you know, especially if you're like me and you weren't a very good player and you knew you weren't playing in college, the end of your high school career is the end of your career. It's over. The realization of that moment for a senior is not easy. Faith Kuchera getting her ribbon right, her medal right now, and a big hug from Kalia Mansell. She certainly would be a player I would expect to go on and play at the collegiate level, but I could see it written all over her face as she went through the handshake line with this Austin Waldorf squad. Just that moment of, wow, it's really over. My high school career is over. It is a gut punch that you just don't see coming until the moment it comes.
For sure, and it's tough. But, you know, the good thing, especially with, you know, schools that, you know, are members of TAPS and members of this organization, you know, a lot of these kids know that they're probably not going to play at the next level, but they know the lessons they learn, the experiences they have here. It's to help you become a better person, and, you know, and things you get to remember for a lifetime. I think everybody remembers those times where it may not have been the losses and the wins, but the bus rides and the practices and the hanging out times. It's just something that you can't forget and that you hold on to, and to be able to experience this. Not everybody does, but
that's the biggest thing to me is not everybody gets to experience all this. Mm-hmm. You know, not a whole lot of people get to say that their final game was a state semifinal. My last football game sure as heck wasn't a state semifinal. We didn't even make the playoffs. So it's a huge honor, I'm sure, for these kids to be able to play all the way to this point, be one of the top 4 teams remaining in the state at your level, and that is nothing to be disappointed with or ashamed about for Faith Academy. A tremendous season for these girls, but certainly a tough moment for them, falling just short here in the state semifinals. Waldorf, though, moving on to the state championship game, and they will play the winner of our next game, Southcrest Christian and Coram Deo Academy. An 8 o'clock tip right back here on TAPS TV in about 20 minutes. We'll see you then.
Class 2A semifinal between Plano Coram Deo